Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is low-calorie miso ramen. So today I'm really excited to show you this recipe because we haven't done a very low-calorie recipe in a while, but this one is low-calorie and it is high in protein. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep our noodles. Now, I've used a lot of different low-carb noodles on this channel, but I'm excited to try this one today. It is the kelp noodles. These are low in calorie and they have a kind of like a different texture. So if you're someone who's not a fan of like the shirataki noodles, which are the typical low calorie, low carb noodle that you can find, the ones that are like basically carb free, you could go ahead and try this kelp one. You can get this at a lot of Asian grocery stores. I got this one from, it's a store near me called Mom's Organic Market. So that's where you can typically find this. And there's a little bit of a prep work to this. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to take this out of the packaging and we're gonna rinse it under cold water. Now that I've rinsed my kelp noodles under cold water, I'm going to put them in a bowl with 1 cup of water. Now that I've rinsed my noodles under cold water, I'm gonna go ahead and put 1 cup of water into a large bowl. Then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking soda and the juice of 1 lemon. We're gonna give that a little bit of a mix and then we're going to drop in our noodles. And what this does is it helps kind of texturize our noodles. So basically you just put them in this lemon juice and baking soda mixture and you just kind of wanna massage the noodles until you get the desired texture that you want. So if you like your noodle a little bit firmer, you could just do it firmer or lighter. It's just gonna take you maybe like a minute or so to massage it. And again, just do it until you get the desired texture that you want. And you can see that they're already starting to soften up. The great thing about these noodles is you could actually technically eat them cold. So if you're doing a dish that has cold noodles, this would be great for that because that's it, they're ready. That's all you have to do. But we're going to put them in our ramen. These noodles are ready to go. I'm gonna take them out and put them in my strainer. And I'm just going to drain out all of that liquid and then put it in a separate bowl so it's ready to go. So I've strained all that liquid out. I'm just gonna give this one final rinse to kind of get off that lemon flavor and then we're ready to put it in whatever dish we're making. So these are now ready to go. As you can see, I would kind of say that they're similar to like a glass noodle. If you've ever had glass noodles, they kind of look, and honestly, the texture is just like that as well. The next thing we're going to do is we're gonna prep some of our vegetables that we're gonna be adding to our ramen. So I have a portabello mushroom, and I'm just gonna do some slices of the portabello. Let's go ahead and cut off the stem. For the stem, I kind of like to do these chunks long ways like this. And then for the portabello mushroom, I like these long slices. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna prep some green onion. So I just have a mix of the whites and the greens. I actually like to prep them ahead of time a lot of times. So like I'll buy a batch in the beginning of the week and I'll cut it up. I'll kind of separate it out so it's ready to go whenever I'm ready to cook. And for this, I wanna have a mix of the white and the green. And I'm just gonna do these slices. The last thing I'm gonna prep is 1/2 block of tofu. So I just have some extra firm tofu and I'm gonna cut slices about this size. You could do 1/2 block, 1/4 block, however much you plan on eating. I'm gonna take my tofu and just transfer it to a large dish. You could also just use a plate. And I wanna now season my tofu. So I have some gochujang, which I'm going to add to a little dish. And we're gonna do a little bit of soy sauce and a tiny bit of sesame oil. I'm gonna go ahead and mix all of this together. Break up that gochujang, and I typically don't add extra salt if you're using a low sodium soy sauce, or if you want to use coconut aminos instead and not use soy sauce, go ahead and do that. And then you can just taste it and add some salt to taste, but I'm using shoyu soy sauce, which has quite a lot of salt already, so I'm just gonna stick with this. And if you're enjoying this video so far and you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and also like this video while you're at it. Now that I have my tofu pieces and my sauce, I'm gonna go ahead and take a basting brush and brush the first side of my tofu slices with our sauce. And that way the flavor can start to get into the tofu. We are gonna add it to our ramen, but I like to season it ahead of time, otherwise the tofu just has like no flavor basically. I'm gonna go ahead, flip it over, and do the same thing on the second side. I have a nonstick pan that I'm heating on a medium heat, and I'm gonna add a tablespoon of unsalted butter. And once our butter is melted, we're gonna go ahead and add our corn. So corn sounds like a weird thing that you can add to ramen, but it is so delicious, especially when you crisp it up on the pan first. So I have some frozen corn kernels. I always kind of have a bag of frozen corn because it's always just ready to go. I don't have to cook corn ahead of time or anything like that. And it defrosts super duper easily. So I just threw that into the pan. I did let them sit out for about 10 minutes before I started cooking. You could do it straight from frozen, that's fine as well. Another thing that's great about keeping frozen corn, like just always available, is that they're already separated, so you can just take as much as you need. You don't have to like cook an entire corn cob and cut it and then have extras. I just take as much as I want and it's ready to go. So to my corn, I'm gonna add salt. And I like to add a good amount of salt to this. Some black pepper. So I would say like a heavy pinch of salt, because with the miso and like the soup itself, it just goes really well. And I'm gonna increase the heat a little bit. We're just gonna let this cook and kind of char in the pan. My corn is finished. I'm gonna take it out of the pan and put it in a separate dish. Now heating the pan back on medium low, I'm gonna add another tablespoon of unsalted butter. You could also just use avocado oil if you want. I just like the flavor that the butter gives the vegetables. So I've melted that butter down, and we're going to add in our portabello mushroom. Now these, I don't want to decrease in size too much, but I do want to let some of the moisture out, and just to soften them a good amount in the pan first before we put them in the miso soup, because I don't want them to take too long. I just want to kind of add it as a ready to go topping. I don't want it to have to like cook for too long of a time in the soup itself. I'm going to add just some salt to this and give that a stir. And you can see these are already softened up. I don't want them to soften up too much. I do like them to maintain that chew a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take them out of the pan now. And the final thing I need to cook before I start on the ramen is the tofu. So I've turned the heat back on a medium heat. I'm gonna spray in some of my avocado oil spray, and I'm gonna add my tofu in to sear it for 1 minute on the first side. After about a minute, let's go ahead and flip it over using some tongs. And we're gonna cook for another minute on the second side. Now at this stage, if you wanna keep your tofu soft, you can stop here and take it out of the pan. And if you wanna crisp it up a little more, Just keep cooking it, watching both sides until it gets to the exact texture that you like. I like mine a little bit on the softer side, so I'm gonna take it off the pan now. We're ready to start with the actual soup itself. Now this is the easiest part. We've already done the hard part, which was the prep of all the vegetables. So I have my medium-sized pot. It is heating at a medium heat. I'm gonna add a tiny drop of avocado oil just to oil the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of garlic. I'm just doing the one from the jar. Give that a little bit of a saute just to make it fragrant. I'm also going to add back in my mushrooms and let them start cooking with the moisture that the mushrooms have. So now my mushrooms are going to absorb that garlicky flavor. And we're going to let this saute for just like 30 seconds so it can heat back up in the pot. I'm now ready to add my miso paste. So I'm using an organic miso paste, which is a soybean paste. And I'm gonna add it directly into my pot. I'm gonna squeeze out about a tablespoon. I'm gonna go ahead and break up that miso paste and let it cook in with my mushrooms. And I'm ready to now add my chicken bone broth. I'm using chicken bone broth because it has more protein in it and it is more vitamins. It's better for you. If you wanted to make this a totally vegetarian meal, you can just use vegetable broth. That is fine as well. So I'm pouring that in and we're gonna let that heat up. At this stage, you wanna give this a taste and see if you need to add any more miso just based on your preference of taste, any extra salt. So go ahead and do that now. We're gonna add a little bit of extra miso, and I'm also gonna add some more salt. Now, as we're letting this heat up to a simmer, we're gonna add some green onion. So I like to do a mix of the green part and the white part of our green onion. We're also gonna top it at the very end. And let's go ahead and bring this up to a simmer. This is such a flavorful, cozy recipe. It's so simple to make, as you saw. And the great thing is it's really customizable. So you can make it with different kinds of toppings if you wanted to add different mushrooms, if you want to add more vegetables, if you want to add chicken to it, whatever you want. But my preference is to do it with the tofu. I don't know what it is with the tofu, with the ramen. It just goes perfectly together. And the miso is just this great flavor. Umami bomb. It's absolutely amazing. And I love making this for like a quick meal. It's also great for meal prep. It actually holds up pretty well to make it for lunch the next day or for even like a meal prep dinner. Super, super simple. We're now up to a simmer. So I'm gonna lower that temperature so we have just a low simmer going on. And this is the last and honestly easiest step. Let's go ahead and add our ramen noodles in. They only need a couple seconds just to heat up because again, they're already cooked. We don't need to cook them. And you just add as many as you plan on eating. I think I'm gonna add about half of the bag that I used. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that in there. And we can now turn our heat off because we're ready to assemble. And that is it, a delicious low-calorie miso ramen with low-carb noodles. I mean, take a look at how gorgeous this is. I have my tofu. I put a jammy egg. The perfect jammy egg is boil your water, drop it in 7 minutes, take it out, ice bath, the perfect jammy egg. It's so simple. So I added my jammy egg. I have my corn. I have my delicious ramen broth. And I like to top it also with some sesame seeds and some crispy chili flakes and chili oil. Now we have to do our perfect bite taste test. I have my perfect bite. Cheers. It's spicy, it's salty, it's umami, and it is guilt-free. This is such a great macro-friendly low carb ramen. I absolutely love this recipe and I know you will too. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite ramen toppings are. And thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also hit that notification bell to never miss a tasty upload. Till next time.